all pistons are in from number 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll go to the other stage where we have to assemble underneath. The crankshaft must go in, main bearings and big end bearings. So we turn around this engine, we turn it around. Right, then underneath we see on the crankcase we have to connect our crankshaft to these pistons. So now we make sure, because underneath we have two types of bearings which hold the crankshaft in place. We have the main bearings which are in here. These are the main bearings for this side, and the other ones are on this crankshaft cage. And these big ends bearings, they go on the con rods, one this side and one on the cap of the con rod. So we can start by putting the big end bearings and make sure that they are on the center of the con rod. We just make sure that the con rod side is clean. Then we put it here. Right, to make sure it's on the middle, as you can see. Push it down. Alright, now it's on the middle. We go to the other one as well. Make sure it must be extra clean. When we are working on the engine, it must be extra clean. Then this one, we push it on here. Push it on here and make sure it's on the center. Make sure. Right, now it's on the center. We take another one. One goes here. This one goes here on the center as well. Right. These are big end shell bearings. Big end shell bearings, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them are here. Right. We have to assemble the caps, the shell bearings to the caps side. And make sure as well, just as usual, we make sure the caps are clean before we assemble our bearings. Right, as we were doing on the con rod side, we make sure as well that the bearings on this side are on the center. As you can see, the bearings must be in the center. Take this one, put them on the center. Right, we go to the main bearings. The main bearings are those bearings which support the crankshaft. This is our crankshaft. So the main bearings are those bearings which support the crankshaft on the middle of it, on a straight line position on the middle. Those are the main bearings. So those are the ones which we are going to put. There are two different types of bearings. The ones without holes, oil holes, they go this side. Then the ones with oil holes, they go to the block side, because there is oil holes, as you can see here, the holes where oil will be pumping and lubricating the crankshaft. Right, then as well we wipe the bearings. Wipe the bearings and put them in. These are standard bearings because our crankshaft has never been grinded to another size, so we use standard bearings. The standard bearings, they are the original size from the manufacturer. These are standard bearings which have the original size, just as the original bearings. This one goes here. As you can see, and the last one goes to the end. Last one goes right. Make sure it's well and they are level. Right. Then this one is the thrust. This bearing contains the thrust washers. The thrust washers, they are there to hold the crankshaft so that it doesn't move sideways for too much. So they contain the friction material. This material wears out after some time. Then if there is a noise in the engine, let's say you press the clutch, you hear a noise, then it means the crankshaft is moving forward to the engine. So it means your thrust washers are worn out. So this one, as you can see, we have to put it on the middle. It depends with the type of the engine. Some they put them here, some here, but this will guide you because it's different from all others. This one, and even if you try to put it here, it won't go in. If you try to put it here, it won't go in until you put it on a proper position. So as well, you make sure it's clean. Make sure it's clean. Then you slide it in, just like we did on the others. Make sure it's sitting flush on both sides, sitting flush. Right, now we are ready. To put our crankshaft. But we make sure that we apply lubrication. We have to apply oil on the bearings, on all of the bearings. we apply very clean on the big end bearings, main bearings. Apply oil all over, so that when we are turning our crankshaft, while we are assembling the crankshaft or the bearings won't be damaged. Alright, now make sure our crankshaft is clean. Crankshaft is clean. Right, so we identify the front of the camshaft, the front of the crankshaft by because the flywheel is mounted this side, so automatically it means this is the back of the crankshaft, and the pulleys and the oil pump is mounted in front. Then it means this is the front of our crankshaft. Right, we drop it just like that to the block. We drop it evenly. There we go. Now we sit it. Right. Okay, now we are going on the most important stage. But before that as well, we have to make sure we put lubricant again on the crankshaft. This will make sure that when we are turning the crankshaft, when we are assembling it, nothing will get damaged, because these bearings, they need oil to reduce friction on them. Right, now our crankshaft cage is this one, just as well. The new bearings are already, I installed them already, so we make sure they are clean, all of them. So make sure they are clean. Just as well, we have to apply oil on them. Oil is very important to reduce friction. Right. So this one, how you see the direction. If you try to put it, this one goes in one direction, goes one way, it goes just like this, but it has arrows in it. These arrows facing that direction, it means this is the front. They are facing to the front of the engine, so meaning that if I turn it around and put it like this, this is not good, it won't fit. As you can see, it won't fit. Right, then I have to put it in a proper direction. I have to put them in a proper direction, meaning that I must put them like this. Right, now there we go, seated. Now we are ready to put all the bolts in and make sure the bolts are tight. Pause. Right, now we are assembling, we are torquing the main bearings. We have to torque them. The most important thing of torquing is to make sure that the bolts are being tightened on the same torque or same effort. The same effort we put on these bolts is the same everywhere. Right, now we use our torque wrench. First, make sure I lubricate the surfaces where the bolts are going, all of them. I lubricate the surfaces first. I lubricate them, and all the bolts are in oil. Then I have to put the bolts one by one in order to tighten them. Inbound range
Big.
let me put all of them. Right. Now we have to drive all the bolts down. You have to drive all the bolts down, but they mustn't touch the crankshaft cage. They mustn't touch it. For me to drive them fast, I can use my impact wrench or speed wrench. I adjust it to low speed. Then I use number 15 socket. Drive them down. I make sure they don't touch the surface because I have to use torque wrench. I have to use a torque wrench to tighten them, making sure that they are tightened with even effort. So I have to drive them down. This one. So the torques which I have to use, I took them from my computer. I am using 5 Newton meters. 5 Newton meters. 20. No, it's fine. 5 Newton meters. 20 Newton meters and 90 degrees. 5 Newton meters. I have to set here on my Newton meters, although it's starting from 40. Let me set 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. I lock it at the end. And lock it. I lock it at the end. Then I start with one from the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going outwards. So I start with this one. The torque range when 5 Newton meters is enough to make a clicking noise. So that is now 5 Newton meters. I mustn't continue to force it because I will be tampering around with the torques. So when it clicks, I have to leave it and go to the another one. Another one is clicking. Then I jump to this one, drive it down, drive it down. Oh, go to this one. This one. Pause neno zote ndio anaanguka basi. Pause. Now we are going to the second stage, to 20 Newton meters. So as we did at first, we start from the middle going outwards. Middle going outwards. Start from the middle going outwards, right? So it means second stage is done. The third stage, we must turn the balls in an angle of 90 degrees. So as for me, what I use is the T-pegs. I have to mark my balls horizontally, all of them. I put a mark. I put a mark here like this. That is if you don't have a degree angle. If you don't have a degree angle, you can use my method. My method is effective. Right, now knees up. Right, 90 degrees. So it means for my bolt to move 90 degrees, it means my line will go horizontal like this side, meaning that if my tipper is facing this way, it has to turn to a 90 degree angle. It means I must end somewhere like here, but my lines must be horizontal, all of them like this. Then I know that I did a 90 degree turn. Right. you can see, all of them are facing forward, meaning that we are done. We are done tightening the main bearing bolts. Right. So now we have to make sure that our crankshaft is turning. Make sure our crankshaft must turn freely with the hands, like what I'm doing. As you can see, it's very free. It means now our bearings are sitting properly. Right now, this is the time to put the big end caps. The caps which goes on the con rods. Caps which goes on the con rods. Right. So it means we have to lubricate the caps first so that the bearings are fine. Now let me make sure that we have to turn on the crankshaft this way, right? And we turn our crankshaft. We have to check let me use a screwdriver. Now this piston must go upwards. Piston must push it upwards to this side. Towards me, right? I also push this one. Make sure this one is on the center. Push it upwards. Then I hold it like this, and I pull it up. Now the piston is up. I apply my lubrication as well. Make sure everything is clean. This job needs cleanliness. There's no mistake at all. I must identify cap number 2. Cap number 2 is this one. I join it with this con rod. Then I put my bolt. Make sure also the gearing is sitting right. I identify cap number 3. Cap number 3 is this one. Considering it goes one way, just as well. Right now, we have to torque the big end bearings. 15 Newton meters first, and 90, and 45 degrees second stage. So first stage is 15 Newton meters, which we use a torque wrench, and 90 degrees we use a power bar to turn the bolts to an angle of 90 degrees, just as we did on the many bolts. Right, so now I have to set my torque wrench to 15 Newton meters. This is 30, 20, 15, somewhere here. Right, let me lock it. Then I tighten 15 Newton meters. When the torque wrench clicks, I stop immediately. Now, make sure that caps are sitting properly. Then we mark our bolts like we did earlier. Where is my tip? So here is my tip. I mark them going forward. Right, then I have to, these bolts must move to an angle of 45 degrees, meaning they will be facing somewhere like here, all of them, somewhere like there. So I use my power bar to tighten them. Both are tight. There we go. That's this one. This one. Now we go to the piston number 1 and piston number 4. So we identify, as we did, identify piston number 4. We make sure it's oil, it is oil and it is clean. Right, number 1 goes here. Then we'll put our bolts in first. And put our bolts in. Our torque wrench. As we say, 15 degrees. So it's 15 Newton meters. Sorry, this is 40, 30, 20, 15 is here. Then we lock it. We lock it. And using our E10 socket. We use number E10 socket. We torque the caps. When the torque wrench clicks, It's a sign that is now 15 Newton meters. Can even cross check to avoid mistakes. Right, let me finalize with my degree angle. Finalize now. This one is oil, and I wipe it and do it nicely. Right, for 5 degrees. That's what we're putting in. 5 degrees. Right, there we go. So, please. Right, there we go. We make sure there is not too much play. Since we put new bearings, make sure there is no play on the con rods. On all of them, all the 4, there is no play. We make sure as well that the crankshaft is turning freely. As you can see, we are done with assembling the main and big end bearings. Crankshaft is turning freely and pistons are going up and down nicely.